name is Allison Mathis. I am born and raised in Tennessee. I am the youngest of 4 girls. My dad kept trying to have a boy and then gave up at me. These are my sisters. As you can see, my 2 oldest sisters are quite a bit older than me and my other sister, and they had a really big part in raising us when we were younger. When my parents were gone providing for the family, they really stepped up and helped take care of us, and I really appreciate them, even though they were still our sisters and still, did the crazy sister stuff. They did help raise us quite a bit, so I really do appreciate them, and they're still a really big part of my life now because of that. But just because my sisters helped raise us doesn't mean that my parents weren't in the picture. They very much were. In fact, when we moved to Clarksville, I told them that I wanted to do cheerleading, which was quite a bit of a surprise to my dad, seeing how I did softball when we lived in Dover, and he was my softball coach. So he was very surprised, but that doesn't mean that he was any less supportive. He was my #1 fan, and my mom and my dad both really took a lot of time for me to do cheerleading. If you know anything about cheerleading, it takes a lot of time. You're there from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. some days, and you have to drive really far in rain and in snow. And they had to make a lot of sacrifices for that, and I really appreciate them doing that so I could be able to do something that I love so much. And cheerleading is a really big part of my life, and I think they realize that, and that's why they did all those things for me. And cheerleading was a big part of my life because I was not very popular, I guess you could say. I never really had friends. I had to switch schools a lot, and I was very quiet. I didn't really talk to people, and people didn't really talk to me, and I was okay with that because I knew that when I got home, I would go to cheer practice, and I would get to be with my friends who I considered like my second family, and just have the best time of my life. And the great thing about the friends that you get to make in cheerleading, or really in any sport that you get to really bond with other people, is that you get to be friends with people that you may never have been friends with. Most of the girls that I knew and that I was really close with, I would have never approached them in the hallway. They probably wouldn't have approached me either, and that's okay because we got to have that bond and that connection through cheerleading. And the people that I'm still friends with today, even though I don't cheer anymore, and I'm so thankful for them and thankful for cheerleading. And another really big part of my life is my niece. I do have 2 nephews and 1 niece. My 2 nephews are from my oldest sister, and then my niece is from my sister who's right above me. And I don't really have a connection with my nephews the way that I do with my niece, because I was able to raise my niece and help my sister in a lot of ways, and I wasn't really connected with my nephews because they moved and they lived kind of far away. So I'm very thankful that my sister still lives with us, and my niece still gets to be a big part of my life because I'm so thankful for that connection that I get to have with her. She will be 2 in November 30th, and she doesn't look like that now. She does have hair now, but I'm so thankful for my niece because she has changed me in a lot of ways and changed my heart in a lot of ways, and I am just so in love with her. And I actually was wanting to transfer schools, and I wasn't able to, because just the thought of leaving her and not being able to watch her grow up or missing such a big chunk of her life made me so sad that I had to stay at Austin Peay. And so here we are, and that's pretty much everything you would need to know about me.